Hey, how you doing, guys? I'm here to talk about for this topic on Microsoft's new Surface laptop of they just announced, and I think Microsoft expanding its Surface line is very good for them. It's working. Um, Now, of course, I do want to say that I'm not a popular fan on some of their Surface products, like the Surface Book. I'm not much personally. Of course, there are people that do like it. In fact, it's probably the highest selling hybrid out there. Excuse me, my voice is going out. And Surface Studio, as much as I like it, I think it's um, severely underpowered for pro applications, what it was designed for. Putting that in mind, I do like the idea of the Microsoft Surface laptop. I'm not really going to go over specs per se or other things, but I am going to note the target audience where it's supposed to be geared toward, which is actually education. I am going to talk a little bit about it though. Um, it is selling for $9.99 base price. It is a premium laptop, so it makes sense. Then obviously, if you want to get more specs, it's going to cost you a little bit more money. Perfectly fine. It's geared toward a premium market, and they are designing these Surface lines to be very premium. I do find it weird that they don't have a USB-C port, because that's kind of where the industry is geared toward. It looks like it's just going to be a USB-A port. Another thing, I don't know reason why they're doing this. They seem to be targeting the educational market, and to me, that seems kind of weird, and I'm going to explain why. Considering its price point, the only educational use I foresee is going to be private schools, universities, along those lines. It's going to be way overpriced for anything public school or public institutions, way too high of a price point. And yes, it is kind of geared toward the high schooler going into college, so it makes perfect sense in those regards. Another thing is it is running a slightly different operating system, Windows 10s, which means you can only download applications from the Windows Store, which still makes sense because if you're gearing this toward educational use, you want to keep students from putting in malicious, other software from different sources. And supposedly there's also going to be an app where teachers and school administrators can, put permissive rights and stuff like that, which is perfectly fine. Um, and for I think it's a $50 upgrade, you can put in Windows 10 Pro, and then you can just download whatever you want. Then again, not a problem. But still, I thought it was kind of a weird thing targeting it toward educational because, like I said, it's going to be too expensive for the majority of schools out there. And this comes at a time when, remember, Apple was trying to get its $600 iPads into schools, and people were saying it was too expensive, and so on. Well, you add $400 to that price with this new Surface laptop, and then it's going to even be worse. But of course, now iPads you can get as low as $300, which makes more sense for school use. Of course, if they also want to gear towards the educational use, you also need supportive services. And I know Apple kind of did that with their iBooks configurator. And I forgot the actual name of it. Let me look it up really quick just to be sure. I don't want to get it wrong again. Or where you can actually make your own iBooks. And they even had attempted to price down their textbooks to put on these iPads. So I'm thinking Microsoft needs to do something similar toward that. And then you also think Chromebooks, because now you can get Chromebooks in schools which are fairly popular because of their inexpensive price, ease of use, and which comes, I believe, at a $300 price range. Now they do have the very expensive for school educational use. I believe it's the Google Chromebook Pixel, I think, and then that comes almost, I think, $1,000. But and since you're paying that price, to me, it's kind of a cut down operating system. I would rather put another operating system on it for that price. But the regular Google Chromebook is really going to be a competitor in the lower market. So, like I said, kind of a weird um, reason why they seem to be targeting educational use for this. But to me, I think the general public would be better. And then perhaps, just mention educational use as well. I don't know. All in all, I think it is a good entry into the market. I kind of wish they came out with it first before um, the Surface Book to me, and then come up with the Surface Book later. And like I said, I'm not much for these hybrid devices. That's just me personally. Give me your thoughts on this new Microsoft um, Surface laptop. Do you think it's going to be geared toward general use, educational, and would it be something you would buy?